everyone, welcome to Fairy Tale and Fiction. My name is Sophie and today I'm bringing you my second part of my June book haul. I don't even know how I'm going to lift this without breaking something, but I'm going to try. So, who needs the gym when you buy far too many books for yourself? Can we get them all in? Yeah. Oh, ow. Oh. Technically this is my third book haul for June. I blame this on the fact that I really haven't got a life, possibly. I don't know. I seem to have bought an awful lot of books this month. It in no way reflects how much money I spend at all times of my life. Please don't, Mr. Student Loans, think that I need to start paying back my loans quicker because I'm loaded, because I'm definitely not. Most of my books have been kind of from bargain sections of websites or bargain sections of bookshops, or indeed Tesco's, because it's cheap to buy books in Tesco's. I know you shouldn't buy books in Tesco's, I know you should go to local independent bookstores, but I worked out in my area there are a grand total of nil independent bookstores in my nearest 4 or 5 towns. So that does make it very difficult. I would have to go about 40 miles to find a bookshop that doesn't belong to a part of a chain, which makes things awfully awkward, and I would end up spending a lot of money on petrol. So I have tended to go for chains of things. But anyway, enough yabbering, and I will stop showing you the books. So first of all, I thought I would show you the books that I got from The Works this month. It is quickly becoming one of my favourite stores to go in, because the books that they get in there are absolutely amazing, as long as you're willing to hunt for them. If none of you have ever been to The Works as a bookshop before, they tend to have tables stacked with books, but this stack does not mean that all the books in the stack are the same, does not mean they're by the same author, doesn't even mean they're the same genre, doesn't mean they're the same age group. They are just a stack of books. Sometimes they're not even the same size. You have to root straight through them. They're stacked on the table, under the table, around the table. There's usually tons of people round said table at any one time, but they're normally 3 for £5. So as long as you can find 3 that you want, you are good to go, or at least a multiple of 3. Every time I go in, I seem to be able to find 4 or 5, and it does my head in because I don't know what to pick up as the last one, and I end up finding another one, and it's actually part of a series of 3, and they have all of the series of 3, or they only have books 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, and it drives me insane. But The Works, I don't know how to quit you. So first of all, in The Works, I shall show you the books I picked up the other day. I managed to pick up 5. As I was saying, I usually can't find the right amount. At first I picked up 4, and because I was like, I can't find a 5th one, I just want to go home now. Picked up 4 on the way out the shops, or another one that I wanted, so I ended up buying another one separately, and so annoying. But anyway, first of all, I picked up Valiant by Holly Black. If you watched my May book haul, I believe it was, I picked up Tithe and Ironside by Holly Black. This is apparently the matching cover. The spines look similar, but it's a different font, and the front of the other two have got someone's faces on, and this is not a face. I don't really know what you're playing at, Simon & Schuster. These don't really match, but they are the most matching-iest ones that I can find. Looking forward to reading this. Obviously, as I said before, it's number 2 in the modern fairy tale trilogy. Haven't started reading it yet, but do like Holly Black, have read Doll Bones, absolutely loved it, cutest book ever. So yes, Valiant by Holly Black. Secondly, I picked up Specials and Extras by Scott Westerfeld. These are books 3 and 4 in the Uglies quadrilogy. I don't have the first 2. I asked the woman in the shop if they had the first 2, and she kind of looked at me like, I don't know. So I'm hoping to find those 2 first. I may download them as ebooks, read them so that I can get to reading these, and then find the first two, hopefully, somewhere online. So these two, yes, would have cost me £1.99 each, but I bought them as part of the 3 for £5 deal at the works. Quite excited to read these actually, because a lot of people are talking about them online. They're not the prettiest covers of them I've ever seen. I have seen prettier ones. America, you get nicer book covers than we do. That's just a fact. But yes, Specials and Extras by Scott Westerfeld. This is the book that I saw as I was walking out of the shop, having already purchased 4 books in the 3 for £5 deal, and got really annoyed that I was going to go back and buy this. I've already read this. It's Jeanette Edwards, or Janet Edwards, depends which way you want to pronounce it. Probably the correct way would be best, so it's Janet Edwards. And it's Earth Girl. This is her first ever novel, and at first I thought it was a standalone, but it turns out she has a second one coming out later on this year called Stargirl, and it's going to have a pink cover and it's going to match this, so bonus for matching book covers. It's about a girl called Jara, and she lives on planet Earth. It's set in the future where humans have devised a system of teleporting to other planets, and we have made civilizations on these other planets, and people left on Earth are kind of looked at as handicapped. Jara is one of these handicapped people, and it's about her life facing the kind of prejudices that people have against people that are from Earth, even though the people that are from the other countries were originally from Earth. It's very complex. It's quite a good book. The only thing that annoyed me about this book is that she did make up words, like she used the word zan for amazing. That really grates on me. I don't know why. I didn't have that problem when reading A Clockwork Orange. I found it difficult to get through because of how many words were made up, but it didn't annoy me quite as much as just the odd word that was made up in this book. I would definitely recommend it to anyone that likes kind of sci-fi and young adult fiction. I'm quite excited for the second book to come out. I quite like the fact that I picked this up on no one's recommendation other than the fact that I saw it online and I wanted to read it. So I was quite proud of myself for finding a book that I actually liked without having help. But yes, Earth Girl by Janet Edwards, £1.99 in the works at the moment, if you can find it in that pile of books that they call a shop. So in the works, I picked up Through the Evernight. If you would have seen my May book haul, you will have seen that I picked up Under the Never Sky, the first book by Veronica Rossi. In this series, I believe it's a trilogy, and the last part is coming out very soon. I haven't read the first one yet, but the fact that I saw the second one with the matching cover in the works meant that I did have to pick it up. I am looking forward to reading this, but at the moment I've got things that I want to read first. I just literally picked it up because I knew that I had the first one and it was cheap, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't end up getting a book that didn't match, because I ended up reading that one and then was like, oh my god, I need the next book. So yes, Through the Evernight by Veronica Rossi. And today in the works, I picked up another 3 in their 3 for £5 table. First of all, I picked up A Study in Scarlet by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I haven't actually read any of the Sherlock Holmes books. I started reading Hound of the Baskervilles, but it was at sort of 4 o'clock in the morning, having not slept, and I was on a ferry to France, and it was a dumb time to read that book, essentially. I've since lost that book. It's probably in my packing from uni, which I still haven't managed to unpack. It's been a year. I should probably get around to doing that, but I'm going to need more bookshelves first. So this was on their 3 for £5 table. I absolutely adore the BBC Sherlock series. Who doesn't? So this one's even got an introduction by Moffat, who isn't my favourite person in the world. Moffat, you know what you've done. So yes, quite excited to read this. Quite small print, so I can imagine it might take me a while to get through, especially because at the moment I'm entirely hung up on the Hunger Games series and the Infernal Devices series, so I don't know when I'm next going to read a book that isn't going to involve me first of all weeping over those 2 trilogies. Next up in the works, I picked up the Immortal rules by Julie Kagawa. If you have seen my May haul video, you will have seen that I picked up The Iron Queen by Julie Kagawa in the works a few weeks back. It's the third in the Iron Fae quadrilogy. Oh no, there's a fifth one coming out. So, Quin trilogy? Is that what it's called? Quintet. A quintet of books. Let's call it that. But I haven't managed to find the first two, or indeed the fourth, and I haven't got the fifth because it's not out yet. But I opened the front of this one up and it turns out it's the first in a different series. So at least it's the first. I'm hoping that I'll really like her writing style. It's a vampire book. I'm okay with that. I love me some vampires. So I'm hoping to enjoy this. It's quite thick, so it might take me a little while, but I'll go for that. And last of all in the works, I picked up Graveminder by Melissa Marr. I picked this book up because Melissa Marr was recommended to me by Amazon. They looked at my wish list of books that I have currently in there at the moment, and they said you should read books by this author. And I picked it up because I needed another book in my 3 for £5 anyway, because I only had 2. And it looks kind of cool. It's kind of undead, curses, liking it, looks good. Next up, I have my books that I went mad on Amazon and bought hundreds of. First of all, I've got Parade's End by Madox. I watched the BBC adaptation of Parade's End last year. When did it come out? I think it was last year. Hopefully I will get around to reading it at some point, but I know it's not at the top of my list. I picked it up because it was like £1.50 or something. Wordsworth editions are never really more than £2 in bookstores and on Amazon, so they're pretty good if you want to pick up some classics and you want them to look good on your shelf. Next up, I picked up the Affinity Bridge by George Mann. I picked this up because I watched a Readables video on steampunk novels. I don't think she talked about this. She might have talked about this. I'm sorry if you did. My brain's not with it today. But I went on Amazon and searched steampunk novels, and this came up, and it looks really cool. It's kind of like a detective type thing set in Victorian London with automatons and airships, and it looks really cool. It's also really pretty underneath the slipcover, which I like. It's got the same cover underneath. So it's a Newbery and Hobbs investigation. I know there's at least 3 in the series. There may be more. I think there's another one coming out. I couldn't tell you for sure. I think I ended up paying about £2-3 for this one, when the recommended retail price is £20, which is kind of steep for a book. But yes, I'm quite looking forward to reading this. It'll be something a bit different for me. I think I got caught up in the fact that at the time I was reading Clockwork Angel, and I was like, yeah, automatons, steampunk, give me all of the books. So yes, the Affinity Bridge by George Mann. Next, I purchased Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. This was off the back of Katie Tastic's talking about this book incessantly, and it looks really good. The cover's so pretty. I like the fact on the back all it says is, wow, I wish I'd written this book. I wish I had too. I believe this is another underworldy type book. I'm looking forward to getting around to actually reading this one, because it does look very good, and the reviews that I've seen are mostly positive. It's not the cover that I wanted. It's not the cover that I ordered Amazon. That will be a running theme in this video. I think it's not the cover that I wanted, but book's a book, and I think this cost me £1.50 or £2, so it's not too bad for a hardback that's in very good condition indeed. Next up, I picked up White Cat by Holly Black. This is not the cover that I ordered Amazon, and I waited 4 weeks for this book. I'd heard a lot about the Curse Workers trilogy. I read Holly Black's Dull Bones, and that convinced me that I needed to buy this series. I wanted the pretty cover, you know, the black one with the dotty pictures on the front, and that is the book that I clicked on. And of course, because I opted for the second-hand edition, I should have realised that you can never be certain of what they're actually going to send you. This book is a bit tatty, but I'm still looking forward to reading it. I might take the dust jacket off and just pretend it's the pretty one on the dust jacket. So that's book 1 in the Curse Workers trilogy, and I also bought book 2 in the Curse Workers trilogy. Red Glove, once again, not the cover that I ordered the pretty one, and these two don't even match. How annoying is that? This one's shiny, this one's matte. Apparently, the edition to match this one does also have this picture, but it's different font. I'm so annoyed, Amazon, you don't even know. But yes, so that's book 2, and book 3 is called Black Heart. Who knows what cover I'll end up with that one. I'm pretty sure I ordered it and it hasn't arrived yet, and I ordered it at the end of May, so heaven knows when that's going to arrive and what it's going to look like when it arrives, if it arrives. Next up, I have Sisters Red by Jackson Pearce. This arrived from Amazon with a big old slash through the dust jacket. Really wanted to read this book. I've heard good things about it, and it is, I believe, like a retake of Little Red Riding Hood, which is exactly what I did for my dissertation. I wrote a retake of Little Red Riding Hood and then did a massive essay about the Bowdlerisation of fiction. Sisters Red, I believe, is the first in like a series of 4 fairy tale retellings, the second being Sweetly, the third being Fathomless, and the fourth being Cold Spell. I know none of the covers match for that series, so I won't have the issue that I had with Curse Workers, but this one is so very pretty. I'm really looking forward to reading this. I reckon it should take me no time at all, because it sounds like exactly the sort of thing that I'd want to read. Sisters Red by Jackson Pearce, and I think I paid like £2 for this, so... Actually, no, I didn't even pay that. I paid a penny, and then I paid postage, so I guess I can forgive the slash across the front cover, but who slashes a book? What are you doing? Next up from Amazon, I bought The Daylight Gate by Jeanette Winterson. I really enjoyed it when I read the library book. You may have seen my review that I did a couple of weeks back. I'll try and put a link somewhere, probably in the down bar, or as John Green calls it, the doobly-doo. Didn't cost me very much, kind of had to order it because I enjoyed the library book. The second library book that I read after this I also really enjoyed and am tempted to order, but that kind of really negates the idea of going to the library if you're just going to go and buy the book afterwards, so I should stop doing that. Next up from Amazon, I bought The Spindlers by Lauren Oliver. I'm aware that she wrote the Pandemonium, Delirium, Requiem trilogy, and before I purchased them I wanted something that was going to be easy to read, so I purchased The Spindlers, which is a middle grade novel by Lauren Oliver. It sounds from the blurb a bit like Labyrinth, David Barrett's Labyrinth. I don't know if you've seen that, where the little baby brother gets kidnapped. Absolutely adore that film. And once again in this there's a girl called Liza, and Patrick, her little baby brother, gets kidnapped by, I think they're like spider people from what I can tell. Either that or they're just called the Spindlers, and I've decided that they're spiders because it's called the Spindlers. Oh no, there is a spider on the front cover, so that's probably what led me to believe that. I should think I'll finish this in no time at all, but it's a very pretty cover of the book. I think it cost me about $4.99, something like that, on Amazon, so I'm quite happy to fork out that for this. And if I do like this, then I probably will buy Pandemonium, Delirium, Requiem, and have to find some space on my shelf for those as well. Next up, I went to the book depository online and I purchased Splintered by A.G. Howard. This book is so very beautiful, and that's not the story, that's in general, it's the prettiest book I've ever seen. Not only is the girl on the front really pretty, and it's kind of a really shiny, bright colours on there, but underneath that, they've got this beautiful, like, red foil inlay into the book itself, and same with the title on the spine. And if you have seen this book in the shops, you will see that the text in it is not black, it is purple. How pretty is that? I had seen this in WH Smith and I nearly picked it up. It was the paperback and it was something like £13, and because I'd heard someone talking about it online, I don't remember who it was, I'm sorry, I nearly picked it up, and then I went, no, I'm going to go home and I'm going to go online, and I bought the hardcover copy for £8.98, I believe, from the Book Depository, so that's not bad at all. It is a revamp of Alice in Wonderland. It's meant to be Alice Liddell, who was the inspiration for Alice in Wonderland's great granddaughter, and it's meant to be like a family history of them hallucinating this Wonderland, and it's about this girl called Alyssa, clever pun on the name, and about her visions of Wonderland. So it looks really amazing. The second one is coming out this year and it has a picture of the Mad Hatter on the front, so I'm all over. I've already pre-ordered it, I haven't even read this yet, so I should probably get round to reading this before that second one comes out. But it does look amazing and I really want to read it, but I don't want to spoil the book, so I'm going to have to read it at home and wrap it in plastic as I do it or something like that. So yes, Splintered by A.G. Howard. And last of all, I went to Tesco's and I picked up Mallory Blackman's latest book, which is called Noble Conflict. I saw her talking about it on BBC Breakfast that very day and happened to go into the book aisle, as if I didn't plan my entire trip around going to the book aisle in Tesco's. And this was there for £6.50. From what I can fathom, it's like a post-apocalyptic, post-war world where most of everything has been destroyed and you've got rebels, and it just looks really amazing. I know Mallory Blackman's works are revered the world over. Blackman is the Children's Laureate for 2013 to 2015, so she said her output might go down while she's off doing bits and pieces to do with that, but that at least means that I'll have time to catch up and read this. It won't take me too long to read, but as I said before, I've got loads of books on my TBR at the moment. I keep buying them. I really need to slow down. I considered doing a book buying ban, but I don't think I'm ready for that yet. I think I'm still too addicted to buying books, which is possibly a problem considering we bought a new bookshelf the other day and I've already filled it. So yes, hopefully I will be back next month and not have bought quite as many books, because I think I'm going to be forced to move out if I do that, and I'm just going to end up living in a house made of books because that's the only possession that I'll own. I hope you enjoyed watching my haul. Let me know if you found any bargains recently, and let me know if Amazon have messed up any of your orders with the covers. So yes, I'm going to delve back into reading the Hunger Games trilogy, and hopefully I'll do a little reaction video. There's no point me doing a review, so many people have read that book now. I think I'm probably the last person on the planet to get around to reading it. At the moment I'm kind of bursting with feels for Peter, because I've just finished the first book and I'm going off now to read Catching Fire, and hopefully it will take me a little bit longer than 24 hours to read, because I want to make that series last as long as possible. Yes, I hope you've all had a good June. Happy reading, and hopefully I will see you soon. Bye! I don't know why I assumed that was a man's name. Well, because Jackson is usually a guy's name, isn't it? Who knows? I sound like an idiot now.